love.
That was really pretty. The tonality of that was really pretty.
Sound check.
G'day there and welcome back to another vocal analysis here at Voice Essentials. My name is Dr. Dan and today we will be reviewing a singer who, up until just the last couple of weeks, I had never heard of before. Her name is Aurora. She's a Norwegian singer and she has a beautiful voice. It's lovely. And I'm really looking forward to introducing her to you. In fact, if you're watching this video, it's likely that you have already heard of her and you're a big fan. And why not? This is a beautiful voice. She's a lovely songwriter. We're going to dive straight into her song, Exist for Love. This is going to be a really great opportunity for us to review a voice that is rather light. It spends a lot of its time in this song in the upper register. We spend a lot of time, don't we, oohing and ahhing at the big, powerful power ballad vocals of ones like Morissette and Gigi Delana and, big, strong voices. And here we have almost the complete opposite. But I want us to really appreciate the equivalent beauty of that today. And as we go along, we'll be making our comments. And I very much look forward to learning more about her from you in the comments section below. So make sure you leave your comments. And if you've got other Aurora videos that you'd like to recommend that we review, then please, by all means, leave those suggestions below, because it was actually through someone's comment in my reaction videos that I came across her, and I'm so pleased that I have. Let's dive into her song, Exist for Love. Beautiful acoustic version, lovely, just lovely.
They say there is a war between the man and the woman. I've never felt like this before. My heart knew that I couldn't.
It's a real sound of her era. It's such a folky kind of sound. It kind of reminds me of Kate Miller-Heidke. If you've never heard of Kate Miller-Heidke, please check her out on YouTube. She's an Australian singer and who has a similar kind of lightness to the sound. Maybe you've got some suggestions as to who it reminds you of. Let's keep going. It just continues in this vein of just being beautifully light. It's very floaty.
And then you take me in, and everything in me begins to feel like I belong, like everybody needs a home. And when I take your hand, like the world has never held a man, I know I cannot heal the hurt, but I will hold you here forever if I...
It's interesting. This is very clever arrangement. That second voice sitting in there with the singer behind Aurora just gives a bit more body to the sound, because I think the reality is with a sound this light, if that was all the song was, the ear would probably tire of that. It would just be a bit too little for too long. But the arrangement is very clever. It has this second voice, and in fact we have the third voice of the percussionist sitting in behind her there, and he occasionally comes in and spreads it even further so that we get a little bit more width of tone. And that's just clever. I'm so glad they've done that, because it means that we can sit in the moment of the lightness, the pure tonality of this sound for longer.
I can, if I can. And then I learned the truth. I feel like I exist for love.
I love how she's holding us in a moment. Remember, now this performance is being done sort of live in a studio setting. Have a look. She's singing into what I think is a Shure SM58. This is a really basic, very basic model of mic. It's almost it's not quite a dry vocal. When we talk about dry and wet vocals, we're talking about a wet vocal is one that has a lot of reverb. This is not. This is rather dry, and that's not to say it's bone dry. I think there is a little bit of verb in there just to give it a little bit of width, but not a lot. And going into a mic that doesn't over-celebrate full-bodied resonance, which is really interesting as well. I think that also complements the kind of sound that she's going for. Remember, mic choice is always really important. You've got to think about, for those of you who are learning to sing and you're learning to use microphones and technology, amplification, your mic does have an impact on the kinds of sounds you're able to create.
Like I exist.
Yeah, there's the verb. There is verb there. There's definitely verb there. But it's still not a lot.
I can't imagine how it is to be forbidden from loving.
Yeah, nice and full.
'Cause when you walked into my life,
Nice harmony.
I could feel my life begin, like I was told.
I love the way the backing vocal is really, like, she's locked into what Aurora is doing. Let's watch that again. I want you to watch the intentness of the eye contact of the backing vocal. It's a real credit to them.
Like I was torn apart the minute I was only born, and you're the other half, the only thing that makes me whole. I know it sounds like a lot, but you really need to know we are leaning out for love, and we will lean for love forever. I know I love you so. And then I learned the truth, how everything good in life seems to lead back to you. And every single time I run into your arms, I feel like I exist.
One of the challenges sitting the voice quite like high like this is it is because the note is thinner in its resonance, it has more opportunity to be heard if it's not quite on. I've said this so many times here on Voice Essentials channel. Inaccurate pitch is a part of live singing. So this is not a criticism. It's just, once again, showing you someone like Aurora, who the actual recorded video clip of this has had 20 million views. This lady, she garners a lot of interest for good reason. And yet, here she is singing live, and we still hear just a slight inaccuracy of pitch, and that's okay. Let me take it back here and let's see if you can hear just that slight inaccuracy. It's just a little bit flat over the top.
And every single time I run into your arms, I feel like I exist for love.
Just tonally, just a
Only
smidge.
for love. And when you say my name, like white horses on the waves, I think it feels the same.
That was really pretty. The tonality of that was really pretty. We're going to listen to that again.
Is out
Watch the way she shapes it as she sings through it.
and we exist for love, only for love.
To sit the voice consistently in this upper register and to have it sit, relatively accurately, and to have that purity of tone without it becoming too breathy. Your breath management has to be quite stellar. I'd encourage you to watch this through again without my commentary and watch how she facilitates her air. It's got a real consistency to it. It never really breaks up along the way. She's able to feed her air through the vocal tract with relative clarity and evenness in the breath flow.
Only for love, and I love you, I love you, I love you, and I love you, I love you, I love you.
Ooh, I love the way, because we don't really hear those those sort of lower ambient hues until now. Like, this is the end of the song. It has a real drawing in of deeper intimacy. Let's have a listen to that, because there's some really beautiful tones that she sort of just glides us into.
I love you, and I love you, I love you, I love you.
Oh, thank you so much for recommending her to me. And it's so refreshing in one respect to hear voices that sit outside the expected, box of big, bold and brash, and to hear a voice that is unashamedly light and really pure. I'm going to call it, I reckon that's like a folky kind of tune, isn't it? And it's got she's lending a real folky kind of tone to that sound. Beautiful. I hope you enjoyed today's vocal analysis. Please subscribe, join our ever-growing family of singers across the globe who, just like you, are wanting to develop their voice, improve their sound, and we do that every week here at Voice Essentials, and I very much hope you'll join in and tune in next time, when you'll hear me always finish every single video by saying, "I'm Dr. Dan, sing well."